What's up everyone? Are you ready to look at every single centimeter of this Skream Anodiz frame set? If you are, then you've come to the right place. It's a size large, so there are plenty of centimeters on it. I'm going to skip over all the basics. Instead, I will just jump straight into the deep end and just talk about all the little details that you probably didn't know about. And there are actually a lot of small things that you can't really notice until you have it in your hands. It's a much more unique frame set than you might think. If this sounds too fixed gear for you, but you still want to see a video about the Skream Anodiz, I made one just a month ago where I talk about it in much broader terms and just kind of discuss my plans for it. Check it out. Alright, let's get started. The top tube is maybe the most exotic piece of tubing on the Skream Anodiz. It's shaped like a diamond with 5 sides, but the edges are not sharp, they are rounded. Even the bottom one, which has quite a big angle. This picture is an attempt to illustrate the shape of the top tube. I think you get it, it's a diamond. There are orange stripes starting from the back going forward on the 2 sides of the top. They end with a diagonal cuts design, mirrored on the other side, so they both sort of lean backwards. Since these stripes sit on the angled sides, they are both completely visible from their respective sides, but you can also see both of them when you are riding the bike. That's cool. Every orange part on the Skream Anodiz sits under the clear coat, but you can still feel it popping just a little bit with your finger. The down tube is also uniquely shaped with rounded edges, but it has 6 sides instead of 5. The bottom side is wider than the top, and the bottom area is made even wider with these 2 small angled sides helping out before curving up to the big sides. These small areas once again take part in showing off the orange stickers because the big Skream logos begin down on them and then continue all the way up into the edge leading to the top. Drilled holes with threading for a bottle cage. Very nice weld up here, just like the top tube. You can see the edges in the light, but it's neatly done. Down at the bottom bracket is a whole other story though. Every weld down here is left untouched. They still look professional and nice, and there is probably a valid reason to leave them like this, but it doesn't really match the smooth welds on the rest of the frame. Probably the first thing people notice about the Skream Anodiz is the low rear triangle. Both the seat stays and the chain stays have orange stripes on them, and the end parts with cuts are actually upside down on the seat stay. This frame takes a rear brake. It comes drilled, and as far as I know, there is no option to receive it undrilled. Before meeting, the chain and the seat stays abruptly curve into the much narrower track end area. Looking at the chain stays from above reveals dimples, both on the inside for tire clearance and on the outside for the chainring, and also for the cranks on both sides. No chainring dimple on the left side though. I can understand why, but also, why not for symmetry? The seat tube is the most conventional part of the frame, thankfully. On the front of the seat tube we have a large anodized text print with a lot of extra spacing between the letters. The squeezable opening on the back goes about as far down as to where the stripes from the top tube would intercept. Just below is a very small Skream logo. A couple of very short vertical stripes, just basically rectangles, really. An anodized text print, more rectangles, and the triangle S logo. Even this super small Skream logo actually have the curved and different sized ripples going through it. The smallest ones are almost impossible to even see. The head tube is really clean, with only a modest sized triangle S logo on the front. Not much else going on, unless we want to admire the smooth welds again. In the front we have the full carbon fork, which I have now cut down from its original length to absolutely slammed. There is no way to visually notice a difference between the carbon and the aluminium. It shines and reflects light in the exact same way. They give off very different sounds though. The fork is drilled, so it can take a front brake. Down at the bottom we have a sideways Skream logo, a very fat and short stripe with 2 cuts, and an anodized text print above. The other side is, just like the entire bike, fully mirrored in terms of design and placement. The only things that are not pure mirror images are the triangle S logos, the text print Anodiz, and the big Skream logos. They all occupy their mirrored placement, but they are not mirrored themselves because, you know, they're text. If we take a quick look under the bottom bracket, we can see a serial number and the words Skream Bikes cut out into the material. And there are also some signs of damage, just from hanging out in my house. There are actually a few signs of damage already, like over here, and even here with a paint chip. But I'm not too worried about this. I am going to start riding the bike outdoors eventually. I might crash. I'm going to get it dirty, so it's just a part of the patina. And another thing. Look at this. We have parts. Not everything, but these are some of the parts that will go on the Skream Anodiz. We have the handlebar. We have the stem. The seat post color might seem minor, but in terms of looks, it's very interesting because it's red. One of the things on the bike that will actually have, you know, color pop. Let's take a look at them one at a time. Starting off with the stem. It's a Ritchey. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of the model is, but it's 120 millimeters. It's the longest stem I own, which I think is going to be more fun. Perhaps less ergonomic, I don't know. Probably not that much of a difference. This stem is pretty cool because it has, if you look at how the faceplate is angled, the actual inside covers more than half of the circumference. Meaning that when you tighten the screws, it's not really just the faceplate pushing in, but you're actually making the upper and lower side of the stem kind of clam inwards, gripping the handlebars. And that is supposedly a good thing. That's the selling point of this stem, I suppose. And they claim that this design allows them to make the stem lighter in general. I haven't put it on the scales yet, so I don't know. I think it looks really good. That's the main reason why I have it. I trust Ritchey, and they are not super expensive. I keep rolling with Ritchey, I suppose, because the handlebars also from Ritchey. So this is what they called the Classic, or yeah, it says Classic here. But I think that's mainly the color, the silver color, because if you look at these drops, these are shallow drops. So these are not like the old school 80s, 70s, 80s drop bars that are super deep. These are, this is what you want essentially, like 44 centimeters wide. That's the widest one they have, and that's CC, so it's actually 46 on the outside, which is also what I have on my other bike. Very wide. I think I need that. I'm pretty wide myself. Yeah, so this is going to look great, and I'm going to use yellow bar tape. And lastly, the seat post collar from KCNC. So it says KCNC in white with a bunch of letters and numbers. And this red is quite a lovely color. It's metallic red, which will go well with this silver seat post. And there is this orange, I don't know what to call it, the thing that the screw is screwing into. And it actually has a silver titanium screw. That's kind of overkill, but also a fun detail. In terms of how it will affect the look of the bike, it's a really effectful detail, I think. Yeah, so that's about it now. More to come later. If you would like more background on the bike, then click somewhere around here. Or if you've already seen that, you can watch a YouTube video that's recommended to you personally by the YouTube recommendation system up here. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.